Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Today, I thought that we should do a little interview about a few of the things that I know that you have a great passion for. All right?
Okay.
Let's start it off. CROWD1 and ICT has been in hypergrowth mode the last year. What challenges has come with this?
When an organization like CROWD1 has hypergrowth, there comes in millions and millions of new people all the time. That means that the service organization ICT has really had struggling with building it, keeping the speed up and building their organization. So it's given us a lot of interesting challenges with getting all people in, train them, get them on board, so we can at the same time serve and support all you networkers, all our leaders around the world. But I think we have done it in a pretty good and positive way.
I have heard that you often speak about perspective. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, what I often talk about is the need of putting yourself in a different perspective than you normally do. It's so easy to just focus on where you are and what's in it for me. But sometimes you just need to back out to see the full picture of the situation and to understand what is good for the crowd. Because we are a crowd of almost 40 million people today.
Yep.
That means that one thing that is good for everyone, maybe not 100% the thing you really want us to do at the moment, but that means that we need to try to work with these different perspectives to get it
Interesting.
right.
Could you clarify a bit more what you mean are the main differences between long-term and short-term solutions?
Yes, absolutely. We very often tend to, as I said earlier, with looking on the perspective from ourselves, to look upon things that are short-term, because they are getting our attention all the time. They are really ticking us on the shoulder, saying, I want to be done, I want to be done. And if we just focus on that part, we forget about the long-term things that is important for the movement and where we should be in a year, in 5 years' time, or in 10 years' time. So it's very often you need to think about urgency and importance of a thing.
Interesting. So what do you actually mean by looking at things through the criteria such as urgency and importance?
What I mean with urgency is everything that is short-term, well, not everything, but most things that are short-term, they're ticking on us. Yeah. They're on top of our minds. They are here all the time, and they want to be solved.
Yeah.
The long-term things, they could be very important, but they are not ticking at the same way. So they are not urgent in the same way as the short-term things. If you think about, I think you and I and all the people out there has created their own to-do lists.
Yeah.
And when you write the to-do list down, you think this is the most important things you have, the most urgent things to do.
Yep.
2 days later, when you are still working on this to-do list, there is several of those things that you just skip because you realize they were not important and they're not urgent anymore. So I think it's very important that we think about the urgency and the importance. And a lot of my work is to help people to find the right perspective, to be able to focus on the important things that will lead us long-term in the right direction.
I love that. Yeah. And what is your feeling for the future and the road ahead?
I think we have built a solid foundation to get going from. We have managed to get a lot of great people in. We have just opened up the Dubai office, an office that is for you, our crowd, our networkers, to come and meet us, meet each other, to train there, to see us, and to get the real feeling for the company. And I think that is very important. And with that said, we have also started to build up in Dubai the very important part with support that we already had in Spain to get it. But I think you will hear more about that later on today in the show here. As a final message to all of you, our networkers around the world, we have built a solid ground for mutual long-term success. We are looking forward and are ready to take the next step of our journey to become 100 million and beyond. And This is what I mean is the power of the crowd.
I love the sound of that. Thank you so much, Johan.
Thank you.